Chapter 3. Voices in the Hospital. The fall stopped as suddenly as it had begun. Deagan hit the ground, hard enough that the air tore from his lungs, and lay there, gasping like a fish dragged from water. The surface beneath him was no longer stone or sludge. It was smooth, cold, almost sterile. When he opened his eyes, the world around him was different. The oppressive heat of the underworld was gone, replaced by the faint hum of machines. The air smelled of antiseptic and metal. He was lying on a cold tile floor, and when he pushed himself up, the room came into focus. White walls, bright fluorescent lights, the sterile environment of a hospital. His chest tightened. "Am I back?" He looked around, dizzy. There was a bed in the center of the room. Machines beeped softly. The steady rhythm of a heart monitor filled the silence, and on the bed, he froze. It was him. He stood over the hospital bed, staring at his own body. Tubes snaked from his mouth and arms, machines breathing for him. His skin was pale, almost gray, bruises blooming purple beneath the surface. His chest rose and fell faintly, as if even the act of living was a struggle. At the bedside sat his mother, her eyes red and swollen, her hand clutching his limp one. Her lips moved as she whispered to him, her voice breaking. "Please, Deagan, don't leave me, not like this." He stepped closer. "Mom." But she didn't react, she didn't hear him. He reached out to touch her shoulder, and his hand passed straight through. His stomach dropped. No, this isn't real. The lights flickered. He turned toward the machines, their steady rhythm suddenly stuttering. The beeps distorted, stretching into long, static-filled screams. The room warped, its walls dripping like melting wax. The floor cracked, glowing red beneath. The monitors exploded in a shower of sparks. His mother's form melted into shadow, her cries turning into distorted laughter. The figure in the bed, the broken, dying version of him, sat up. Its eyes were hollow, its mouth stretching unnaturally wide as it screamed in a voice not human. "You are not alive." The room shattered. The sterile walls crumbled away, revealing the underworld again, the hospital replaced by a nightmarish version of itself. Walls pulsating like flesh, the floor crawling with veins that glowed faintly. The bed was still there, but now it was rusted, the sheets stained dark with something that smelled of rot. His body still lay on it, but it convulsed violently, black veins spreading across its skin. From the corners of the room, shadows slithered, crawling along the walls like spiders. "Stay here, Deagan," they hissed. "Stay where you belong." The broken version of himself lunged from the bed, black liquid pouring from its mouth. Its hands were claws now, tearing through the sheets as it crawled toward him. Deagan stumbled back, heart hammering, panic rising like fire in his chest. He backed into the wall, but it was soft, fleshy, alive. It pulsed against his back like a beating heart. The other Deagan shrieked, leaping at him. And suddenly, the hospital voices bled through again. His brain activity is spiking. "Hold him steady. He's fighting something." The nightmare self froze midair, twitching violently as if the voices pained it. Deagan's head pounded, the two worlds colliding, fighting for dominance. The shadows screeched, the hospital monitors screamed, the underworld roared. He clutched his skull, falling to his knees. "Stop." The voices vanished. The room went dark. From the darkness, a single faint light appeared, a doorway. He staggered toward it, every step like walking through water. As he approached, a hand shot out from the darkness beside the door. Long fingers, clawed and burning, gripped his arm. The cloaked figure stepped into the light, its voice dripping with cold amusement. "Still you fight, still you crawl toward hope." Deagan tried to pull away, but the grip tightened. "Let me go," he hissed. "You think the voices of the living can save you. They are nothing here. Here, you belong to us." The figure leaned closer, its hood almost touching his face. Inside, those faint white lights burned like cold stars. Soon the voices will fade. Soon you will forget them. And when you do, there will be no way back. It released him suddenly, and he stumbled through the doorway. The ground disappeared. He fell again into screaming red light. Deagan plummeted through the screaming red light, his body twisting as though caught in a storm of heat and cold that fought to rip him apart. The air around him roared, not like wind, but like thousands of voices shrieking at once. He tried to cover his ears, but the sound wasn't coming from outside. It was inside him, vibrating in his skull, rattling his teeth. Fall, Deagan. No one is waiting for you. She'll cry for a while, and then she'll forget you. His stomach twisted violently, and just when he thought his mind would shatter from the noise, he hit ground again. But this time, it was not stone or flesh. It was grass. The impact knocked the breath from him, but as he rolled over, the soft blades pressed against his fingers. The scent of night air, real, clean night air, filled his lungs. For a moment, he simply lay there, trembling, staring at the stars above. Am I home? He stood slowly. He was on the side of a quiet road, the streetlights glowing warm and orange. His motorcycle leaned against the guardrail, perfectly intact. The world looked normal, peaceful, almost beautiful. A single tear slipped down his cheek. I made it, he whispered. I'm out. But as he walked toward the bike, something felt wrong. The stars above shimmered unnaturally, their light pulsing like a heartbeat. The road beneath his feet seemed to stretch slightly with each step, as if it were breathing. His chest tightened, the air grew heavy. A figure leaned against his motorcycle. It was Mara. She was exactly as he remembered her from the night of the party, black jacket, messy hair, that same sharp, knowing look. She smiled, and for a moment, relief washed over him. Mara, oh my God, you're here. But when she spoke, her voice didn't sound right. It was sweet, almost too sweet, dripping with something cold. Deagan, you don't have to fight anymore. You can stay here with me. He froze. No. Her eyes glowed faintly red. Her smile widened, too wide, stretching unnaturally. Her skin began to ripple, black veins crawling up her neck. You've always wanted peace, haven't you? Stop running. Stop suffering. Stay. No, he whispered, backing away. Her voice deepened, layered with a guttural growl. Stay. Her body convulsed, bones cracking, her arms elongating as her jaw unhinged. Shadows poured from her mouth like smoke, wrapping around him. He thrashed, screaming, but the darkness coiled tighter, squeezing the breath from his lungs. The world around him warped. Grass withered, streetlights burst, the sky split open with red light. The quiet road melted into the underworld's jagged landscape. Mara's form twisted into something monstrous, a spindly creature with her face stretched grotesquely across it. The thing roared, slamming him to the ground. Claws ripped at his chest, not cutting flesh but tearing at something deeper. His vision blurred. He felt his strength draining, his mind fogging. Give in. Give in. Give in. No, he roared, forcing his arm free. He grabbed one of the shadows coiling around him and ripped it apart with sheer desperation. The monster screamed, its form unraveling into smoke that burned as it scattered into the air. Deagan stumbled to his feet, clutching his chest. The pain was still there, but so was something else, rage. The world was silent again, too silent. He staggered forward, the wasteland shifting around him. The ground was no longer random. It was forming shapes, objects, places. He recognized them. The alley where he had gotten into his first fight. The bar where he had cheated on Mara. The room where he had screamed at his mother. Each place rose from the ashes like ghosts of his past, mocking him. The walls dripped, the sky pulsed, the ground bled. His mistakes surrounded him, becoming physical, alive, predatory. Deagan fell to his knees, clutching his head. Stop, this isn't real. The cloaked figure's voice rolled across the world, deep and cold. This is more than real, Deagan. This is what you built. Every lie, every wound, every moment you turned away from the light, it lives here. It feeds here. And now it will feed on you. The ground split open beneath him, the memories collapsing into a fiery abyss. Deagan screamed as he was dragged down again. And somewhere, faintly, he heard the hospital voices bleeding through. He's seizing. Hold him steady. Don't let him go under. But the voices were fading, drowned out by the roar of the underworld. Deagan's fall ended with a bone-jarring crash against a floor that wasn't quite solid. The surface shifted under him, like he was lying on something alive, something that pulsed and breathed. When he stood, the ground rippled outward, as if reacting to his movement. The world was no longer a simple wasteland. It was a maze of his sins. Buildings formed around him, warped and half-melted, their walls poolsing like flesh. Street signs twisted into unrecognizable symbols. The air stank of alcohol, smoke, and something sour, like rotting memories. Every corner of this place felt wrong. He recognized the first building. It was the apartment where he had left Mara crying that night after a vicious fight. The door was cracked open, oozing black liquid. From inside came a faint sound, her voice. "Deagan, you hurt me, you left me." He stepped back, heart racing. The voice became distorted, a growl beneath the words. "You'll hurt everyone you love, just stay here." The door slammed open, and the shadow of Mara from before lunged out, screeching. Its form was worse now, a tangle of limbs and teeth. He ran, the building collapsing into ash behind him. Another memory rose, the bar where he had cheated. The neon sign buzzed faintly, casting an eerie red glow. Inside, shadowy figures sat at tables, whispering in voices he couldn't understand. One stood, its head snapping unnaturally as it looked at him. It spoke in his voice. "You remember, don't you? You said it didn't matter. You said no one would know." The figure's mouth split open, stretching across its entire face, and it screamed. The others joined, rising, their bodies twisting violently. Deagan bolted through the alleyway, his lungs burning. The whispers clawed at his mind. Liar, betrayer, coward. The alley walls bent inward, closing on him like jaws. He shoved his way through, barely slipping out before they crushed together behind him. He collapsed to his knees in an open space. His chest heaved, his arms trembled. The air here was thick, heavy, suffocating. From the darkness, a figure stepped forward. Not the cloaked one this time. Himself. The other Deagan was shirtless, his skin cracked like burnt earth, black veins crawling up his neck. His eyes glowed faintly red, and his smile was sharp, cruel. "You can't escape me, I am you." Deagan scrambled back, shaking his head. "No, you're not me." The other laughed, the sound echoing unnaturally. "Oh, I am everything you try to hide. Every sin, every weakness, every time you said, 'Just one more drink.'" It stepped closer, its voice low and venomous. "You don't want to wake up. You want to stay here where pain is all you know, where you can't fail anyone else." Deagan growled through clenched teeth, "You're not me." The shadow lunged and they collided, grappling violently. Its hands clawed at his chest, burning like fire. He roared, shoving back, punching, kicking, every move fueled by raw desperation. They crashed into the poolsing ground which split open beneath them, glowing red. The shadow pinned him, its face splitting into dozens of screaming mouths. "Stay here, Deagan." "No," he headbutted the thing, ripping free, and with one last surge of strength he slammed it into the ground. The shadow screamed as it dissolved into black smoke, vanishing into the cracks. Deagan collapsed, panting, his body trembling violently. His hands were shaking, his heart racing. The air around him shifted again, the world dimming as if drained of color. From the darkness, the cloaked figure appeared once more. Its voice rolled across the broken landscape like thunder. "You think you've won something. That was only your shadow, Deagan. There are more, so many more." It raised a hand, and the ground quaked violently, fissures splitting wide, glowing brighter than ever. The red light burned his eyes, the heat searing his skin. Every piece of your soul is cracking. You are slipping. Soon, the voices of the living will fade, and only we will remain. Deagan forced himself to his feet, glaring despite the fear consuming him. I don't care what you say, I'm not giving up. The figure tilted its head, almost amused. Then keep fighting. We will be here waiting for when you break. The fissure yawned open beneath him, and once again he was swallowed by the burning light.